What's going on, guys, and welcome to another Doctor Who Classic review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 5th Doctor Peter Davison story, The Caves of Androzani. This is well renowned as being one of the best classic Doctor Who stories of all time, if not one of the best stories of Doctor Who ever. It was actually voted as the best Doctor Who story of all time back, I don't know when. I don't think it's still got that title, but it was at one point regarded as the best Doctor Who story ever, which is pretty crazy. It's also the 5th Doctor's final story. It's his regeneration story, so that's something as well. It's kind of funny how the first episode of the 5th Doctor I reviewed was Castrovalva. This is only the second one I've reviewed, and we're now, we reviewed his first story, now we're reviewing his last story, so there we go. But anyway, this is The Caves of Androzani by Robert Holmes. On the cave-riddled world of Androzani Minor, the Doctor and Peri inadvertently find themselves enmeshed in a war fought between the ruthless General Chelek and the sinister Sharajek and his army of androids. The duplicitous politician Morgus wants Chelek to execute the time travelers as spies, while the disfigured Jek seeks to keep Peri forever hostage within his stronghold. But the Doctor soon realizes as even more gruesome fate awaits them, they have been infected with fatal spectrox toxemia and there is no cure. Hunted by both factions and with death just hours away, how far must the Doctor go in order to save his friend's life? As you can tell, apparently I have trouble with reading that. It's because I'm trying to, you'll probably find this a few times. When I'm recording, I've got my microphone in front of me. I've got a Blue Yeti microphone, and I try and have the DVD in a position where I can read it, but not have it like right next to the microphone. But also, I don't want to put it to the side because then I'm not, talking directly into the microphone. So it's a bit of a faff trying to get it in the right position to read it. So that's why sometimes it sounds like I'm kind of stuttering a bit. Also, some of the words are weird, like duplicitous. I don't know. Anyway, The Caves of Androzani. Like I said, it was regarded as one of the best stories, and it definitely is good. But anyway, we're going to start off today with the cast, starting off with Peter Davison as the 5th Doctor. Of course, Peter Davison, 5th Doctor, very, very good. I haven't seen all of his era yet. I think I've seen about half of it, maybe just less. And, he's not the best Doctor in the world, but he does have his moments, and I think it's widely regarded that this is pretty much the best of Peter Davison. He's really, really good in this story. You can tell he's really loving it, and what a way to go out. He just has some really great moments. He felt a bit bland and a bit flat in some of his other stories, previously throughout his era, but thankfully in this one he's really gone full on with it and just had some great moments, and really, really good. Nicola Bryant as Peri Brown. Now, I haven't seen much of Peri. I've literally seen her in this. I've seen The Two Doctors, which I believe she's in, and I've also seen Revelation of the Daleks, which I believe she's in. I can't really remember much from those two stories, but to be honest, Peri's not a companion that really interests me that much, or is really that memorable. She's really quite a forgettable companion, I think. Now, the first thing is her accent, which is a bit annoying. She's got an American accent, she's American. However, the actress that plays her is English, so she's putting on the accent, and for me, it comes off a bit annoying. It's got a bit of a twang to it, a bit of a whiny sort of twang. So for me, Peri doesn't really interest me that much, but she's alright in this story, I suppose. Nicola Bryant, like I said, the accent is just, I think it does a good job of capturing quite a whiny American. So I suppose you give her props for that, but Peri's not my favourite companion. The only other real cast member I'm going to mention is Christopher Gable as Sharajek. Now, that is the villain of this story, and Sharajek, Christopher Gable, he is really, really good. Such a menacing, but also creepy and disturbing personality about him, and just a really, really great one-time villain. Not really much else I can say about that. Sharajek is really, really good. Christopher Gable does a great job with him. So now we get onto the good parts of the story, starting off with the Doctor explaining why he has the celery. Pretty close to the start of the story, the Doctor finally explains why he's got a stick of celery on his lapel, I suppose. And it's really, really good. It's something about, it does something with, radiation and stuff, and he can tell whether or not, something's, there's like toxins in the air or something, and then if he eats it, that, helps him out, and it, I don't know, it's just, I can't really, I don't have a script for this, I don't really know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. If he eats the celery, it helps him if he kind of is getting poisoned or whatever, or there's these toxins in the air, and it also indicates whether or not the atmosphere is, you know, safe and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. It's nice that it finally did get explained why he has that celery in the final story. The Doctor and Perry being executed in the first episode, really cool moment. It was the cliffhanger for part 1, and it was a very good cliffhanger. I quite enjoyed it. I was really wondering how are they going to get out of this, so yeah, definitely a nice little cliffhanger to have there with the first part. Sharaz Jek is a creepy and great villain. Yeah, I did mention this before. Sharaz Jek is known as one of the best classic one-time villains, or just one-time villains in general, and I can see why. I mean, I had actually seen Caves of Androzani before watching it again for this video, but it was quite a while ago and I couldn't really remember too much from it. But I did know that Sharaz Jek was pretty damn good, and he's so creepy. The way he just, you know, like where he's with Perry and he's like touching her hair, and he's so creepy and disturbing. But then he also like has these fits of rage where he absolutely booms. His voice just absolutely booms, and he's just such a good character, and I really like him. The Doctor doesn't seem too powerful because of the Spectrox toxemia, but it makes it interesting. Yeah, so usually we're used to the Doctor kind of running around and helping everyone out and, you know, knowing what's happening and being able to help out with everything. In this episode, for a lot of it, the Doctor's suffering from the Spectrox toxemia poison, and, you know, he's lumbering around a little bit because, you know, he's basically dying, and it just makes him feel really, I don't know, it's a different side that we don't get to see too much of the Doctor, and I think it really adds to the story, you know, not having him, saving the day, or help out with this, do this, running around. He's bumbling around, he's sick, he's dying, his friend's dying, and he's in a horrible situation. It just really helps make the story more interesting. Part 3's cliffhanger with the Doctor crashing the ship. This is a cliffhanger that, even though I couldn't really remember much of the Caves of Androzani from when I first watched it, this is the one thing that I kind of did remember, along with Sharaz Jek. The Part 3 cliffhanger where the Doctor supposedly crashes the ship into the planet or whatever it is. We find out that in Part 4 he doesn't really crash it, he kind of just does a bit of a bumpy landing, I think. But you know, what does he say? Like, you will not stop me now or something. You can't stop me now. And he's yelling at, you know, one of the soldiers. It's I think that's Peter Davison at his best. This showed a more angry kind of crazy Fifth Doctor, which we didn't really get to see too much, I don't believe, throughout his era. So yeah, very good performance from Peter Davison in that moment, and just a great moment overall. The way the story is, Sharaz Jek doesn't always seem like the villain. Like I said, he's really creepy. He really, you know, really creeps out Perry quite a lot, and he also, you know, absolutely booms with his voice and shouts and yells, and it's pretty crazy. But at the same time, a lot of the time he almost doesn't feel like the villain, because you've got all the soldiers with the there's like the two sets of soldiers. You've got kind of the ones with the grey on, and then you've got the ones that look like they're from Star Trek, with, you know, like the blue and the yellow uniforms and stuff. They're kind of fighting each other, and they're almost threatening the Doctor more than Sharaz Jek is, which is really weird, because Sharaz Jek is known for being, you know, this one of the best one-off villains in Doctor Who history, whereas a lot of the time, and I mean even at the end of the story when you know, he doesn't really try and kill the Doctor at the end. It's a really weird ending, and he almost doesn't, you know, he's actually helping the Doctor and Perry at the end, and I just think it's such a weird thing. Like, it makes him such a good villain. He is such a good villain, but then at the same time, he doesn't always feel like the villain. But it's this really different, kind of weird, strange thing that, I don't know how to say it, but it works. The reveal of Jek's face under the mask, also a very good moment. You know, we're wondering, what does he look like under there? He says that he got burnt really badly, and we're like, oh, what does he look like? And then he finally takes his mask off, and he goes absolutely nuts, and that's a great moment there. And then finally, the Doctor believing he may die after going to cure Perry, giving the cure to Perry. Yeah, so he only has one cure with the bat's milk or whatever it was. He gives it to Perry, of course, and he doesn't actually, he doesn't know if he's going to regenerate or not, because he's kind of been poisoned in this weird way that he doesn't know about this poison, this Spectrox toxemia at all. He doesn't know what it's going to do to him. Is it going to, you know, kill him off, and then when he's regenerating just keep on killing him until he's dead? Or will he regenerate? He doesn't even know. And I think that's such a good, noble thing for the Doctor to do. It's like, I'm going to help out my friend, if I die in the process, then so be it. I pretty much got us into this, so I think that's really good and a great way for the 5th Doctor to end. The only bad thing I have to say about this episode is that the monster is a bit crap looking, but to be honest, this monster barely shows up in the story, and I'm glad about that. There is this monster in the caves that shows up now and again, and it just looks, it's so obviously just a dude in a crappy suit. It looks really rather bad, but it doesn't have a massive part in the story, and it's you know, it doesn't really put me off it. It literally shows up a couple of times. It's the first time he shows up when he's walking around and kind of grabbing people that I thought, oh, this is a bit crap. We don't really see him too much after that, so yeah, bit of a crap monster, but luckily not the main focus of the story. So yeah, the Caves of Androzani, an absolute blast of a story. I really enjoyed this one. I expected to enjoy it with all the things that people had been saying, and from what I could remember of the story from previously watching it, I was expecting to enjoy it, but yeah, I really did. I'm going to give the Caves of Androzani a 10 out of 10. Yes, it is another 10 out of 10. Probably expected from this one. I mean, you know, was regarded as the best Doctor Who story of all time. So if it doesn't get a 10 out of 10, that's a bit strange. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. Just the dynamic between, you know, the Doctor, Perry, Shara's Jack, how he's such a different sort of villain, but also at the same time he's pretty familiar. And just the way the whole story plays out. I really enjoy it. It's also only 4 parts long, so that's also a plus because I don't like episodes that are longer than 4 parts usually. 4 parts is the perfect length, and that's definitely the case for this one. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.